Hey everyone, today's video is about finding a focal area in your painting. So it's basically day one here. First thing I want you to do is set up a space for yourself to paint that's big enough for your magazine page or your wax paper. Here's my wax paper. Um, and what I want you to start doing is don't mix your paints on a black page in your magazine. Make sure that there isn't a lot of pigment on the page that you're mixing. Reason being because that pigment from the magazine, the ink from the magazine, can leach into your paint and disrupt the color. The other thing that's important is before you start today, make sure that you've actually mastered your seven-step scale. Because if you look ahead to Friday, the rubric says that you need to have gradations of color in your painting. So, you really want to make sure that you understand how to mix paint and mix it well. So you've gotten 20 points for each assignment before you move on to this. So, and here we go. So what you'll need is you'll need your paint and your wide brush only. So paint and wide brush only. Now, as you can see, I only have two colors on my palette. We are going to first step, day one, we are going to find a focal area in our painting. So we're going to take some time to develop a focal area and figure out where we want a focal area in our painting. How do you do it? Well, if you are using white canvas paper or if you are one of the people that I've commented that your sketchbook paper is super thick, then what you're going to do first is create a mid-tone or a neutral in the background of your painting, a light one. So what you want to do is mix white with a couple other colors that are complementary. Just if you are not sure on your complementary colors, remember they are across from each other on the color wheel. So yellow and violet are complementary. Orange and blue are complementary, and red and green. So you're going to mix those complementary colors. If you're a cardboard painter, guess what? The good news is you already have a neutral color in the background. So you really don't have to worry about that. The background color does not have to be brown. You can make something that's whatever kind of combination you come up with is great, but I wouldn't make it too dark and I wouldn't make it too bright, like too distracting. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to decide, pick one color to find your focal area. So here is my picture plane. You might not be able to see it, but there's a rectangle here for a picture plane. And then the next thing you're going to do is mix your one color that you're going to use so at this point your canvas should not be white. You should have something on it or working on cardboard, one or the other. Okay. So here's a green. I'm going to start by putting the green on here and developing a focal area using my wide brush. So, focal area. First of all, rule of thumb is I would suggest that you don't have it at the corners of your page. Definitely don't have it in the corner. Don't have it here. And don't have it right in the center. What you're going to do is to create either with a ruler or just freehand a giant tic-tac-toe board. Okay, now one of these intersections is going to be your focal area. Okay, I am going to pick this for my focal area right here. Okay. So this is going to be my focal area. Now, remember, how do we create focal area? Many of you did really great on our quiz, our focal quiz. I asked, what are 3 ways to lead the viewer's eye to a focal area? And the majority of you hit the nail on the head. You work with your mark making from light to dark towards one area of a painting. You slowly decrease the negative space between the marks towards where you want the focal area to be in your painting. And the last is color, gradate color, or make marks leaning towards your focal area. So right now, what I'm going to do is work wide to small towards my focal area. And I'm also going to decrease my marks as I go towards. But right now, I am just going to do the whole, kind of make my mark everywhere in here towards my focal area. Next thing I really want you guys to do is just relax into this. So don't try to pre-plan. Now that you know where your focal area is, one thing that I love about acrylic paint, the reason we're using acrylic paint, and I know a couple of you have watercolor. I really would consider going to the flagpole and getting acrylic paint because you can cover up your mistakes. So I'm really hoping that this becomes an enjoyable experience for all of you. And when you're using watercolor, you're probably going to go through a lot of paper because you cannot, although you might be able to fill all the requirements, but you cannot cover up your mistakes. But with acrylic, it's opaque, so you can. So I, without pre-planning, just made this shape, filling my whole composition, and here is going to be my focal area. So So what I'd like you to do, if you haven't already, is see if you can just paint along with me, you know. Make sure you don't have any distractions and you're just like relaxing when you're painting. Okay, so day one, I'm just taking my green, blue green that I mixed, and I'm like trying to lead my viewer's eye to here. I want to avoid this. So I don't want this here. So I'll probably come back here with a neutral to make it kind of go away or lighten up. But I like other things that are happening in the painting. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit and then come back to it later when it's dry.